increase in pay. Now she's in the typing pool at minimum wage. Everything runs right on time. Years of practice and design. Spit and polish till it shines. He thinks he'll keep her. Everything is so benign. The safest place you'll ever find. At least until you change your mind. He thinks he'll keep her. All right.
Well, I went down to the Grundy County auction where I saw something I just had to have. My mind told me I should proceed with caution, but my heart said go ahead and make a bid on that. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make you mine on mine. I'll do your bidding and be at your beck and call. Yeah, I've never seen anyone looking so fine. Man, I gotta have her, she's a one of a kind. I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold on the lady in the second row. She's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know. She's got ruby red lips, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm about to bid my heart goodbye. Well, the auctioneer was going about a mile a minute. He was taking bids and calling them out loud. And I guess I was really getting in it, 'cause I just shouted out above the crowd. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make you mine on mine. I'll do your bidding and be at your beck and call. Yeah.
It's time for another edition of Teton Volleyball on your exclusive home for Teton Athletics. Join us as we bring you every bump, set, and spike as the Tetons battle their way through the Mondat Conference. Let's send it over to your voice of the Tetons, Mike Reuter.
Welcome, Teton fans. Mike Reuter here to be the voice of the Tetons for this edition of Teton Volleyball right here on 660 Keys News Radio. It should be a fantastic one between these two squads. It's going to be the Tetons versus Bismarck State College and the Mystic. Teams are getting ready to get under. (2022) this 2022-2023 season. Looking over at the Williston State Tetons to see how they have been getting along so far this season. Rough start to the year, but they have came on strong lately, winning 3 of their last 5 matchups on their way to now having a 2-4 record in conference, 4-14 overall. At home, just 3 games so far at home with a 2-1 record. They are 0-5 officially on the road, and in neutral games, they are 2-8. Their last 2 games, they came against Dickinson State. That one was a sweep at home against the Dickinson State JV squad. September 19th was at home against Bottineau for a sweep. They were on the road for a couple of games, non-conference games against Jamestown JV and Iowa Lakes Community College. They lost those 3, 3-1 and 3-0, and before that, they swept Miles Community College 3-0. We did get some good news from the Tetons that they will be getting one of their key players back here in the next upcoming week or two. It's Daphne Sanchez, who had been wearing a boot the last few days and games. She's been sidelined with a grade 1 ankle sprain. Did get word that she did hear from the doctors, and she will be able to take that boot off, and they hope to have her back on the court in the next couple of games. Also out for the Tetons, number 7, Taryn Speak. She is gone for the year due to an ACL and MCL injury, but she will be back for a 3rd season thanks to a gray shirt for medical reasons. So it's a Mondack battle here at the Well in Williston. We're less than 10 minutes away from kicking things off. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back for coaches' comments and the rest of our pregame show right here from Williston.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. We'll know you're here when you see the bison on our side. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by, make a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure... Jim. Jim. You're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring...
The convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug Toys available at their downtown service truck location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Performance Plus, something new from American State Bank and Trust Company, an account that fits your active lifestyle. Free digital banking services including bill pay, remote deposit, and e-statements, an instant issue debit card, limited ATM fee refunds, and no maintenance fees. Go to ASBT.com for terms and conditions and stop in our Main or North offices to open your new Performance Plus account. Banking the American State way. It's banking your way with Performance Plus. Member FDIC.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College. Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees. Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit wilistonstate.edu/scholarships.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership. Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop ryanhonda.net.
Mike Rue back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. They are getting the non-starters ready to go and announced here before they get to the starters for the Mystics and the Tetons. So we are just seconds away from the starting lineup and first serve here from Williston. Starting off with the non-starters for the Tetons, it'll be Tristan Barda starting it off. Looking out there, looks like we did have a jersey change on there, so we'll have to get note from that here before to see, make sure we can get who has the right jersey on. So Tetons non-starters giving some little tchotchkes out to the fans here before they get underway. So another Mondeck Conference matchup here just getting set to go. Starting off for Bismarck State, number 5, Sierra Long, a 5'5" freshman from Mandan. Number 6, Greta Gibson, a 5'9" redshirt sophomore from Leonard. Number 7, Eden Schlinger, a 5'6" libero from Bismarck. Morgan Wheeler, a 5'9" sophomore middle hitter from Minot. And number 13, a 6-foot middle hitter from Alcabo, Jenna Rust. Starting lineup for the Williston State Tetons. Number 2, an outside hitting sophomore from Live Oak, Florida, Montasia Jones. Next up, number 3, a sophomore outside hitter from Las Vegas, Nevada, Amaris Boggs. Number 5, Alyssa Oliver, a defensive specialist freshman from Havre. Number 12, a sophomore setter from freshman setter from Blue Springs, Missouri, Jalen Woolruff. Number 14, Emily Schultz, a sophomore outside hitter from Billings, Montana. And then wrapping things up for the Tetons, number 1, the libero, a sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, Ashlyn Helford. So both teams have their lineups set and ready to go, and they are giving their pregame handshake between the two. So game of etiquette here for volleyball, but when they get started, it's going to be some fast and furious action right here on 660 Keys News Radio, your exclusive home for all things Teton athletics, except no substitutes. Tetons and the Mystics are breaking their huddles, getting their last pep talk between the squads on the court. So we'll see who we get to start off on serving for the Tetons. They have great servers up and down, and they've been riding a wave of momentum the last couple of weeks. They have gone 3 for 5 in their last 5 outings, so they look to continue that. But there is the Bismarck State team that only has 2 losses on the year. They are 6-1 in conference play. That one loss came to the undefeated Wahpeton Wildcats down at NDSCS. So it will be Mystics set to serve first. Waiting for rosters to be checked by the officials before they can get their substitutions in. Quick substitution coming in for the Mystics. Schlinger coming in at the libero position. Back to serve for them is Cameron Beasley, a 5'7" setter from Bismarck. Beasley back to set for the Mystics. Takes her treble. There's the whistle. Here we go. First serve is going to go up. There's Oliver, gets it. Woolruff up to the middle to Jones. Gets it down big time. Montasia Jones with authority early. And the Tetons jump to a 1-0 lead here at the Well in Williston. Back to serve for the Tetons, number 8. Maya Pospisil. She's been a standout server. She had amazing service sets on Monday against the Blue Hawks. Here she comes for the first one. Line drive going to be taken up there by Schlinger. Set in the middle, outside kill, kept up by Woolruff. And is going to be popped over by Jones, saved into the net, try to save it again. Free ball comes over, and then there's a couple of Tetons run into each other. It's Schultz and Woolruff collided, and they couldn't recover. Tied back up at 1 apiece on the American State Bank scoreboard. Back to serve for the Mystics. Riley Payne, a 5'10" sophomore from Fargo. Here goes a Pospisil. Woolruff up to the middle to Jones. She misplays it, but barely gets it over. Outside hit attack coming from the Mystics off the hand of Hanley. And that goes wide off of Hanley's arms and out. Mystics take a 1-point lead, 2-1. Once again, it'll be Payne to serve. She'll get one over back to Pospisil. Woolruff. Outside hit, here it comes up to Haskins. Haskins slams it down for a Teton point. All knotted up at 2 apiece. Tetons, who typically have started their sets slow, look to keep pace with this high-powered Mystics team. Back to serve for Williston State, Ashlyn Halford, the sophomore from Jacksonville. She'll run up to the jump serve, let it fly, and across it goes. Great drop serve. Going to be saved up on the middle. Free ball coming across from the Mystics. There's Hanley. Woolruff in the outside to Haskins. That's kept alive by Bismarck. It's going to go. Saved by Hanley. And there's going to be an infraction called on the Tetons. And that'll give the point to Bismarck State give them back the serve and the 1-point lead, now 3-2 here early in set number 1. Back to serve, Eden Schlinger. The libero wearing the gold top and green shorts for Bismarck. Now they get the whistle that she's set to go. She'll let it fly. It's a low serve into the net. First service error of the game for Bismarck. And Tetons tie things back up 3 apiece. So back to serve is going to be Michelle Hanley. She is wearing a different jersey here tonight. She's in 19 instead of her usual number 10. So Hanley going right down the middle of the lane to get the first serve. Goes to the back row. Set's going to come up by Payne, kept alive by the Tetons, but they couldn't get it over. And that'll be a point for the Mystics, now 4-3 early. Both these teams still trying to feel each other out early. Mystics with just a 1-point lead. Here comes the next serve by the Mystics. It's a long one back to Pospisil. Right to Walruff. Great pump on the outside to Haskins. And that's going to be kept alive. Kicked over by Gibson. Now sent back over from the Mystics. Walruff outside set. Here comes the kill to Peterson. No, kept alive by Schlinger. Outside set, back row attack, bumped up by Pospisil. Walruff pushes it over, clips the top of the net. Trying to keep it alive is the Mystics, and they play pinball, and it sails out of bounds. Tetons regain the even standing 4-4 here in set number 1. Oliver checks back in. She'll come in for Pospisil. So Oliver will wait for the whistle to come set, and here she goes. Flat-footed serve. It's a low sinker, and that's going to get down there for the point for the Tetons and an ace. First ace of the game for Williston State, and they take a 1-point lead once again. Oliver back to serve all the way to the out-of-bounds line in the basketball court. She'll walk in. A long serve once again. This time a little more power into it. Over to Schlinger. Here comes the middle kill, and that one is going to be a little too hard for Oliver to handle. Off the arm of Jenna Rust, the 6-foot sophomore from Alcobo. So it'll be a 5-5 game here on the American State Bank scoreboard. To serve for the Mystics, Cheyenne Lang. The 5'5 freshman from Minot. She sends one across. Oliver receives. Walruff to the outside. There's Peterson. Kept alive by the Mystics. They're going to have to send a free one over. They attack it. Boggs with the bump. Walruff outside. Back to Boggs with the attack. And it's going to be through with fingertips and out of bounds. Greta Gibson tried to pop that one up, but it was a little too hard. And Boggs can send it down with a flurry, and she did just that. Halford checking out of the game. Coming in for her is Montasia Jones at the middle position. Back to serve, Greta Peterson. A little dipper on the serve, kept up middle set. Here comes a flat-footed attack. That one is going to be misplayed by Hanley, and it'll sail out of bounds. The attack had to be taken flat-footed from the set that was a little low, and that allowed the Teton defense to be caught off guard. Here comes the serve from Rush. She's going to send it over. There's going to be brought up by Hanley. Kill attack by Jones. It's kept alive by the Mystics. Bumps it over. Outside attack from Payne. Kept alive. Great play by Halford. Walruff outside to Boggs. And that'll be popped up. Kept alive, but not for long, as the bump up by Greta Gibson couldn't be saved by Rust. And that is another Teton point. They regain the lead now 7-6. So subs coming in. Out of the game is coming Hanley. In is coming Halford. Back to serve for the Tetons. Her first time today is going to be number 12, Jalen Walruff. Standout center for the Tetons. She came in to start after the injury from Speak. Here's the serve, low serve, and it's going to be taken over, outside kill, and we're going to say the Tetons were in the net, and that'll give a point. And that one was going to be, not sure who it was on. Looked like a clean play from here, but they said someone gave the pole a little wobble. And that'll tie things up at 7-7. Serve coming back for the Mystics. And Oliver has to try to dive to save it. Gets it. Here comes a free ball from Boggs. Over, taken by Schlinger. Inside, middle set. Saved by Halford. Kept alive by Walruff and sent over by Halford. Right back to Walruff. Halford with the bump up. Outside attack coming. It's going to be saved by the Mystics. Popped up by Schlinger on the set. Here comes the attack. Halford right there to take it. Walruff with the outside set. She misplayed it a little bit, and that is going to fall down Well, the Tetons knew it would have been their fourth hit, so the Mystics regain control 8-7 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Back to serve a second time is Greta Gibson. And there's an announcement there. Looked like there was going to be a message, but here we go under play. Mystics getting over outside attack, and they hit it into the net. They're going to call it a block. Not sure, but Jones was there for the block. Jones pops it up. Oliver having to scramble outside to Boggs for the kill, and that's going to be off and on of Schlinger and in there for a Teton point. Tie things back up at 8 apiece. And there's going to be a couple of subs coming in. Out is going Oliver and Boggs. In is coming Pospisil and Haskins. Pospisil back to serve for Williston State. She'll take her dribbles and she throws absolute rockets down the court. Here comes one just over the top, little flat-footed set. Outside kill coming for the Mystics. Pospisil tries to save it off her hands, couldn't get quite enough of it. That was a big outside kill by Paige McAllister. First time we've called her name tonight. Sub coming in for the Mystics. Out is going Cheyenne Lang. In is coming Madeline James. Back to serve is Riley Payne. Payne sends it into the net for a Teton point. Second service error for Bismarck State here in set number 1. Tied up at 9-9. Tetons looking to try to reclaim the lead. Coaching giving Halford some instruction before the serve. Here it comes. A long serve going back to Schlinger at libero. Outside kill attempt, and that's going to be saved by Halford. Here's Walruff. She's going to get it. Pospisil with the free ball over back to Schlinger. And there's going to be a set brought up by Payne. Outside kill. Halford with the bump. Set by Walruff. She pushed it over on the set. Schlinger on the outside for the attack, and there's Pospisil for the save. Walruff for the bunt. Haskins, and there is saved by Walruff. It's blocked at the net. Walruff back, and they're going to call a double hit on the Tetons on Jalen Walruff. And she was a bit out of position when she tried to make the set. Standing there for the attack was Emily Schultz, who didn't get the opportunity, giving Bismarck back the 10-9 lead. Schlinger with the serve. Pospisil puts it up. Walruff over to Haskins. That's blocked to the net, but it finds hardwood, and that's another Teton point. Tying things back up at 10. Coming out of the game is Schultz. Back in is Hanley, and she'll go back to serve. The freshman defensive specialist from Billings, from Skyview High School, takes her dribbles. She looks to send one on a ride. Runs into it, lets one loose. There it goes to the back row. Set coming up from Beasley. Outside attack coming, and that one will be called in just barely. If it touched the line, it was only by fractions of an inch. The line judge called it down there, and if they were on the other side, it may have saw daylight. Here comes the next serve, and that one just barely gets over. Hanley gets it. Now it's going to be popped over by Peterson. Back set over to Schlinger. And that's going to get down off the hands of Madeline Jennings for another Bismarck State point. They find themselves up by 2, now 12-10. Back to serve one more time is Gibson. Her second time serving here in set number 1. Gibson lets one fly. That's over to Halford. Bumped up by Walruff on the outside of the back serve. The Haskins, she's blocked. Walruff on the other side, this time to Peterson with a little soft bump. And there's a campfire as there was all 6 Bismarck State players standing around watching it hit the ground. And that gets the Tetons back within 1. Boggs and Oliver come back in for Haskins and Pospisil. Alyssa Oliver back to serve, freshman from Havre, Montana. Here she walks into the flat-footed serve. It's a long, low one. She gets it up by the Mystics. Here comes over. Oliver with the dig. Walruff to the outside. There's Boggs with the touch, and she gets her down. Tetons tie things back up at 12 apiece. 12-12 here in set number 1. Bismarck has to huddle things up. They were not expecting this hard of a fight from Williston State here early on. Oliver back to serve, trying to give the Tetons the lead for the 3rd time in the set. Another hard long serve to the back row, set by Beasley, outside kill, and that was an absolute smash by Jenna Russ to get the point and reclaim the lead for Bismarck State. Mystics having a sub coming in, number 5, Cheyenne Long. She'll be back to serve, taking the place of Madeline Jennings. Lang. He'll take it, flat-footed serve. That's going to be long to the back row to Halford. Set from Walruff. Kill from Peterson. Blocked to the net. She punches it right back over. Outside, it's coming to Payne. Saved by Halford. Walruff up on the outside to Boggs with the kill. Off the hands and down. Big kill by Amaris Boggs, tying things back up at 13. Going out is Ashlyn Halford. Coming back in is Montasia Jones. Jones tries to be a force in the middle, and anything comes her way, she has a good chance of blocking. Served by Greta Peterson's going to be popped up by Beasley. Outside tag that tried to be tricky down the line from Jenna Russ. She misplayed it and couldn't get it over the net. This will give Tetons a 1-point lead, their third lead of the game, 14-13 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Greta Peterson trying to give the Tetons their largest lead of the game. There's an equipment timeout as Lang had to tie her shoe on the court. We're back and ready to go. Here comes a serve from Peterson. Low line drive is going to be taken by Lang. Bumped up outside attack coming from Payne. And that will be down for the Mystics as they regain the lead, 15-14. Back and forth affair here from the well in Williston. Back to serve Cameron Beasley. Excuse me, that's Jenna Russ, the 6-foot sophomore. She goes for the jump serve. Back to Oliver, bumps it up. That's over to Hanley. Boggs with the attack, and that'll be in there. Wiggle its way down the line. She picked a perfect alley, and her teammates are hyped for her. She had a rough game on Monday, but she is feeling it today. Going out is Michelle Hanley. Coming back in is Emily Schultz, and it'll be once again to serve Jalen Walruff. Trying to give the Tetons an extra point lead, now 15-14. Walruff walks into the jump serve, lets it fly to the back row. When we popped up by Beasley at the net, saved to the Tetons, got pushed over. Halford over to Walruff, one-handed attack, flat-footed, takes it over. There's Beasley, and she's going to have it sent over. Tetons dig it. Here comes Boggs again and gets it down. Once again, Amaris Boggs attacks from the outside. She was battling a shoulder injury early this year as the Tetons started their homestand. Now the Tetons have their largest lead of the set, 16-14. Walruff back to serve one more time. She'll take a deep breath and walk into the jump serve. Let it fly to the back row. Little miscommunication, but the Mystics get it. Beasley on the outside, and that is going to be off the top of the net. And they're going to say it's a Teton touch, much to the chagrin of both the Teton fans and the Teton coaches. It appeared that it was taken off the top of the net and straight out of bounds, but that'll give it a 16-15 game. Here comes the serve from the Mystics. Pushed by Boggs. She's going to get it over to Schlinger. Outside attack is Oliver, can't quite handle it. A little bit of miscommunication between Halford and Oliver. And that'll tie things back up at 16 on that serve and continuing service. Number 16, Cameron Beasley for Bismarck. Beasley will walk into one. She goes a line drive right at Oliver. Walruff with the push to the outside over to Schultz, taken by Schlinger. Beasley to the outside for the kill, taken by Schultz. Good dig there to get it up. Boggs again for the kill. That's going to get down off some arms. Amaris Boggs has been the X factor today, and she will be coming. No, they're not going to bring Boggs out of the game. They're going to bring her back to serve. It'll be Haskins checking in, Oliver checking out, and Amaris Boggs will get ready for the jump serve. Tetons lead by 1, 17-16. Here comes a hard serve by Boggs. Jones went up for the one-timer spike, and she just mistimed it off the side of her hands and went down on the Teton side. So what could have been a huge momentum swing for the Tetons gives the ball back to the Mystics at a 17-all contest. Here comes the next serve for Bismarck. There's Halford up to Walruff. She gets it over, and they're going to give Walruff an infraction on that one. So give her that'll give the point and the lead to Bismarck, 18-17. Next serve coming over, tips the top of the net, but gets over. Walruff to the push from Schultz. Little miscommunication by the Mystics, and they can't quite get it over off of the hand of Beasley, who tried to, not Beasley, Riley Payne. She tried to flat-footed one-handed over and couldn't get it up and over the net. Back tied at 18, and to serve is Ashlyn Halford. Halford takes her dribbles, walks into it, and here comes the next serve for the Tetons. Schlinger receives over to Beasley on the outside to Jenkins. To Jennings. Here comes a big kill by Haskins, and she hits the net and down for a Mystics point. So Jennings had the big kill for Bismarck. That was dug up by the Tetons, but they could not capitalize. Eden Schlinger back to serve, taken by Bonds. Onto the outside to Schultz, and that's going to be kept alive miraculously once again. They're going to run out of real estate alongside of the stands here at the well in Williston. That'll tie things back up at 19. Schultz is coming out. In for her, Michelle Hanley. Hanley going back to serve. Well, Hanley, one of the fantastic servers for the Tetons, trying to give them their 4th lead of this set and extend that. They are 6 points away from 25. Here comes Hanley. Long serve's going to go to the back row. Beasley with the set at the middle. Absolutely rejected. Trying to be dug up by Payne, but couldn't get it to go. Great job at the middle, and I believe that was Jalen Walruff with the block. Her and Greta Peterson were right there to get the job done. Hanley back to serve one more time. Tetons up 1, 20-19. Here comes a run-up from Hanley. She'll send it on its way to the back row. Popped up over to Beasley. Outside kill, and that's going to sneak through the Teton defenders who are waiting. That kill was on the outside by Greta Gibson, who will now go back to serve after getting a little bit of momentum for the Mystics. 20-20 here in the set number 1 of this Mondac Conference game. Hanley gets the serve. Set going to come for Walruff. Kill up by Haskins. That's kept alive by the Mystics. Walruff into the middle to Peterson. It's going to be off and on. Tetons get the point. 21-20. Tetons 4 points away from taking home set number 1. Haskins going out, Oliver coming in, and she'll go back to the service line. Neither team wanting to give an inch here in this crucial game for both teams and keeping in the standings. Oliver, a low looper, it's going to be kept alive. It'll get over the net. Peterson pops it up. Schlinger tries to keep it alive. It'll be a free ball coming over from the Mystics. There's Oliver, a set to Walruff, a set to the outside to Bonds, who can't get it down, but it goes under the net off the hand of the Mystics. Tetons up by 2. 3 points away from taking the first one. Oliver will continue the service. The Teton fans and their bench imploring them, and there's going to be a Bismarck timeout. First time out of the game. We'll take a timeout as well. Back in 60 seconds.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com. From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Just as we come back in, it's an ace by Oliver, Alyssa Oliver, and the Tetons as she sent one over. That is now 23-20. Mike Ritter here from the well in Williston. Tetons trying to give the serve. Here's Oliver, another long serve going to the back row. Kept alive. Here's a kill. It's going to be blocked, but out of bounds. Peterson couldn't just angle her hands quite right. Tetons, who were up by 3, now up by 2. And it is a very tight game here. Tetons need 2 points to take home set 1. Back to serve for the Mystics, Cheyenne Lang. Lang with the serve. It's going to go, and it'll be out of bounds. Tetons with point number 24. They are at set point here in Williston, trying to take home number 1 of the day. So Peterson back to serve. She'll let it fly. Here's going to go back to Jennings. Set up in the middle for Beasley. Outside kill, and that is going to be off of Hanley's hands. And that will be a point for Bismarck State. So a substitution coming in for both teams. Jones, Boggs, and Walruff in the middle. And for Bismarck, back to serve. Here's the first attempt. It's going to go over. Oliver gets it over to Walruff. Boggs for the kill, and that's going to be blocked. Kept alive by Walruff. Halford gets it, pips it up. Kicked over by Hanley. Beasley in the middle. Here comes an attack from the outside. That's kept alive, but can't quite be caught up. So makes it 24-23. Tetons can get a win with a stop right here. Anastasia Kempish back to serve, and we're going to talk things over once again. Teton timeout, back in 60 seconds.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. Like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our side. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. We'd like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons had a point slip through their fingers, now tied at 24. Tetons get it up to Walrup, over to Boggs, flat-footed. She's going to send it over, popped high up in the air. Schlinger to take a long bounce. Here comes a little touch. There's Boggs. Walrup with a one-time push. She's going to be saved. Beasley into the middle, kept alive by Halford. On the outside to Boggs for the kill. It's going to sneak through and get down. Tetons take the 1-point lead, 25-24. So Tetons having to win by 2. They're going to try to get this 26th point right here. Little question on to who's going to take serve and time it is in the rotation. It is time for Jalen Walrup to set things over. She'll take her dribbles. The freshman setter trying to get the win in set number 1. Here she sends it. Long serve is going to be misplayed but kept alive by the Mystics. Halford gets it. Walrup, she's going to go in the middle to Jones, and it's going to be kept alive by the Mystics. Set to the outside. That's going to be popped out and down off the hands of Halford. 25 all here in set number 1. So it'll be another service attempt by the Mystics trying to claim a 1-point victory. They'll need to get 2 here to try to win. So Tetons can get the victory with a stop and an offensive point. Here comes the serve. Over by Oliver. Misplayed a little bit. Over to Halford. There's going to be Hanley. Pops it over. Kept alive by Lang. Here comes the outside kill. Going to be put down right between the hands of Jones. And the Mystics now with a 1-point lead, 26-25. Tetons now facing set point. Once again, it's Cameron Beasley back to serve for the Mystics. She's going to send it over. Long serve. Oliver pumps it up. Walrup to the outside. There's Boggs. She's blocked at the net, and they're going to give the point to the Mystics. They say she didn't get over and avoid the touch. So Tetons drop set number 1 in a little extra, 27-25. We're going to step away for a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back for the start of set number 2 here from Williston.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
Used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business. Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. We are between sets here. Bismarck took set number 1 by the score of 27-25. Tetons had a set point at one time but could not get it done. So they'll look to regroup and continue some good momentum as they look to take set number 2 against this very, very tough Bismarck State Mystics team. We're going to jump aside for another 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back for the start of set number 2 here from Williston.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown service drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio, your home for Teton Athletics. And just about set to go for set number 2 are the Mystics and the Tetons. After that barn burner of set number 1, it feels about like set number 20. Checking out for the Tetons is going to be Greta Peterson. In is coming Ashlyn Halford. So Tetons trying to climb back and even things up at 1 apiece. Set to start things off from the service line. Number 12, Jalen Walruff will be the first server for Williston State. Walruff waiting for the officials and her coaches to give her the go-ahead, and she is set to go. Here comes the serve. Long serve taken over by Schlinger. Set up. Here comes attack on the middle. Going to be off the fingertips of Jones and Schultz for a Bismarck State point to start things off. Substitution coming in for Bismarck. In is coming Brina Sand, her first time in. She'll go in for Cheyenne Lang. Serve coming from Payne. That's going to be popped up by Oliver. Walrup out on the outside to Boggs, and that is another big-time kill from Amaris Boggs. She has been feeling it, and she will check out for Amaya Pospisil, who will go back to serve. Oliver also checking out. Coming in is Ellie Haskins. Haskins, the freshman from Williston. Pospisil, freshman from Billings, back to serve. Here she comes. There's a long rocket off of Schlinger's arms. It's kept alive. Back row hit. Another awkward hit, but kept. Here comes Walruff on the outside to Schultz. Kept alive by the Mystics. Here comes a set by Beasley. Onto the outside. Big kill. Pospisil couldn't quite handle it. It was a high one, and it could have been out of bounds, but she committed a little too hard to taking it. And that will give Bismarck the 2-1 score on the American State Bank scoreboard. Here comes a serve from number 7, Eden Schlinger. She'll send one across. Pospisil up to Walrup. Outside, it's going to go to Haskins. Tips it over, blocked right back to the Tetons. Halford back to Haskins. She's going to flip it down the line. Can't quite keep it in bounds. And that's a 2-point lead now for the Mystics. Schlinger back to serve another time. Tetons trying to keep this one close so they can gain some momentum and come back, try to take the second set. Here goes right to Pospisil. Walruff on the outside to Schultz, and that is good. Back row for the Mystics, committed a little bit too hard up, looking for the spike, and Schultz snuck it right past them, giving the serve over to Ashlyn Halford and the Tetons. Halford readies herself and walks in. Here she goes, big serve off the hands of Payne. Kept alive, a little bit of misplay. Going to be a free ball coming over. There's Peterson. A push from Walruff. Kept alive by Payne. Bumped up by Beasley. Here comes the attack, and that gets through by Greta Gibson. And Gibson sends it down for point number 4 for the Mystics, regaining that 2-point lead here early in set number 2. So it'll be another service attempt for the Mystics. Here it comes, and it's going to be a low one. Pospisil has to dive to get it up. Free ball over from Peterson. Bumped up from Beasley. Outside is going to go to Russ. Blocked at the net. Walruff with a big bump. Halford pops it up, and that is going to be a little push coming over from Schultz. Kept alive by Schlinger, but her teammates couldn't keep it up in the air for a Teton point. Schultz checking out of the game. In for her is coming number 19, Michelle Hanley. Hanley, usually in number 10. Tonight she is wearing number 19. She'll walk into one and go for the jump serve. That'll be a long one to the back row. Little misplayed, but Beasley is right there to get it up. Flat-footed send by Payne. There's Hanley. Walrup outside to Haskins, and it gets down off of fingertips. Going for the block was Beasley and Rust, but it snuck through to tie things back up at 4 apiece. Hanley will come back to serve for the Tetons. Her second service attempt this time round, and she has the ability to go on a run with her very, very accurate and dangerous serves. Here her next one comes. That's going to be long, taken at the back row. Beasley, outside kill attempt, going to be popped up, but Hanley was a little flat-footed and couldn't react to get up in time, giving Bismarck a 1-point lead. Going out of the game for the Mystics, number 14, Brina Sant. Coming in, number 5, Cheyenne Lang. Lang back to serve. Here comes across. There goes to Pospisil. Walruff with the set. Over to Peterson. Blocked at the net. Kept alive by Haskins. Walruff sends it across. Beasley with the set for the Mystics. Kill attempt. Kept alive by Halford. There's Walruff. Outside to Hanley. She's going to send it wide. And that's another point for the Mystics as they take a 2-point lead over Williston State. 6-4 here in the second. Another set serve coming for Lang. She'll send it across. It's going to go over. That's Halford to Walruff. Walruff can't quite get it over. Misplayed the set to Haskins. And that's going to be point number 7 for the Mystics. Now with a 3-point lead, 7-4, matching their largest lead of the day. Once again, up to serve is Lang. Flat-footed serve right down the middle over to Haskins Halford, and that hits off of Halford's shoulders, ate her up a little bit. And that's now a 4-point lead, 8-4 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Lang to serve once again. She's now had the longest service time of the day for either team. Another serve for Lang. That one's going to be a low one, and that is an ace for Lang. So that is Halford there. Wasn't quite expecting it to be that low. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout as well. Back in 60 seconds.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Performance Plus, something new from American State Bank and Trust Company, an account that fits your active lifestyle. Free digital banking services including bill pay, remote deposit, and e-statements, an instant issue debit card, limited ATM fee refunds, and no maintenance fees. Go to ASBT.com for terms and conditions and stop in our Main or North offices to open your new Performance Plus account. Banking the American State way. It's banking your way with Performance Plus. Member FDIC.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Volleyball. Here comes the serve. Tetons attacking back, kept alive by Beasley, and that is going to be popped over by Beasley on the set for a quick Mystic point right off of the timeout. So Tetons trying to keep the white wheels from falling off here in set number 2. Cheyenne Lang back to serve once again. There's a little pop serve. It's going to be taken by Peterson to Walruff, killed by Haskins, and that will stop the bleeding for the Tetons as Allie Haskins with a big attack on the outside. Here comes a couple of subs for Williston. In is coming Boggs as well as Oliver. Oliver will go back to serve for the Tetons. Oliver walking up. Here she sends it across. Low just over the top. Beasley with a set at the net and a big kill. Kept alive by Hanley, but Oliver had to jump over Hanley to get there. And we'll have to see if Michelle Hanley's all right. She took a hard dive, and then Oliver tripped over her. She looks like she is fine. She'll stay on. So 11-5. BSC has the lead over the Tetons. And back to serve is going to be number 3, Anastasia Kempish. Service specialist for this Bismarck team. She's seen a little bit of action just for serving. Here comes the serve bumped up, and there's Peterson blocked at the net. Halford with the dig. Outside kill from Boggs. She's going to hit it off the hands of Mystics, and it will go out of bounds. Tetons back to within 5, 11-6. Peterson will come back to serve. And out of the game will be going Halford. In is coming Montasia Jones at the middle. Jones standing over 6 feet tall in the middle at 6'2". Here comes Peterson's lofty serve. She gets it up. Now over to Payne. On the outside, that one will be just in down the line. And Coach Hink for the Tetons was signaling that that one is out. Peterson checking out of the game. In for her is Halford. Here comes a serve from the Mystics, and that's going to be an ace. Halford and Oliver got a little bit of miscommunication on who was going to take that one, and that'll make it 13-6. Now the biggest lead for the Mystics at 7 points. Once again, Beasley back to serve for the Mystics. She'll give it a ride just over the top. There's Hanley. Walruff going to the outside to Boggs. She mistimes her jump a little bit, but gets it over. Beasley up, and that is going to be a soft bump. Walruff dives to keep it up. Now Oliver. Boggs with a push to the outside. Over to Payne. Popped up in the middle. Touch. Dug up by Hanley. Outside, Boggs on the kill. Off some fingertip. Schlinger digs. Outside attack again by Payne. Dug up by Halford. Walruff to Boggs, who will send it over flat-footed. Beasley up to the outside. Here comes another attack. Oliver pops it up. That one's going to get over. Oliver keeps it alive. What a play. Boggs again. There's a nice play to pop it up by Lang. Another outside attack will be sent wide off the hands of Riley Payne. What a rally, and Tetons get the point and climb back within 6, 13-7. Coming out of the game is Hanley. Back in is Schultz, who is as Hanley would have taken to the front row, Schultz will take her position on the front line. Jalen Walruff back to serve for the Tetons as they wait for everyone to get set. Walruff lets it fly, and that one's going to be off the top of the net, taken by Payne. Beasley back to Payne, and she sneaks it across the net and off the hands of Jones for another Mystic point. So sub coming in for the Mystics. Out is going Lang, and in for her is coming Brianna Sand. Serve from the Mystics. Walruff on the outside to Schultz. Schultz had to angle herself to try to get it across. Hanley with a fantastic one-handed save. That's going to be Boggs trying to get it over the net, and that is going to be another Mystics point. Again, Coach Hink calling out for a double hit on the Mystics to no avail. Here comes another serve by the Mystics. This one's from Riley Payne. Walruff on the outside to Schultz. She's blocked, and down it goes. Mystics up by 9 now, and they are rolling here in set number 2. So it'll be another serve coming from Riley Payne. Payne, the sophomore from Fargo. Oliver bumps it up. Walruff to the set. Here's Boggs, and Boggs will just miss the line. And that one was very, very close. If there was VAR like they have in soccer, that one might have been reviewed. Here comes another serve from Payne. Popped up by Oliver, touched over by Walruff, and it gets down there. So once again, Teton stopped the bleeding. Brings it to just back to a 9-point game. Back to serve is going to be Pospisil. Excuse me, a 10-point game still, 17-7. So Pospisil will be back to serve for the Tetons, trying to rally back here as time is running out for them in this second. See over along the sidelines, Michelle Hanley stretching out, and there's going to be a stoppage in play here as the officials are talking some things over. So the official on the ground is coming up to talk about some things. Not sure what it would be, didn't see or hear anything that would warrant a conference call between the officials, the umpires, and we'll have to wait to see what the official ruling is, if any. So they are awarding it to the Tetons. And not sure if it was anything unsportsmanlike or what, but the official is talking to the head coach, Kyle Kuther, for the Mystics. And now they are ready to go. 17-8 now, 9-point lead for the Mystics. Pospisil with the rocket serve. Taken there is Schlinger. Set up on the outside for the kill. That's going to be blocked, but it won't stay back in after it ricochets off the hands of Jones and Schultz. Eden Schlinger back to serve for the Mystics. 10-point lead for Bismarck State, 18-8. Couple of subs coming in for the Mystics. One of them was going out was Kempish. In is coming Rust. Here comes the serve from Schlinger. Still centered over Pospisil with the dig. Walruff centered back to Pospisil, who has to send the free ball over, and there's going to be a a carry called on the Mystics. And I know Coach Hink has been waiting for that one all game long. Back to serve for the Tetons. Ashlyn Halford, 9-point game, 18-9 on the American State Bank scoreboard. Here comes Halford. She runs into the jump serve, sends one across to the back row. Payne picks it up over to Beasley. Here comes the attack. It's blocked by the front row of the Tetons. And close to a double hit by Bismarck, but they get it over. Outside kill, going to go over to Schultz. She's blocked, and Tetons just quite can't get to it. Back to a 10-point Mystic advantage. And back to serve is going to be number 6, Greta Gibson. Gibson, the outside hitter, has been all the way around for this Mystics team. Serve going to go back to Pospisil. Walruff over to push from to Haskins. Haskins gets over. Beasley, back row attack from Payne, and that one will sail wide. Now 19-10. Tetons trying to put up a fight here in set number 2. They lost set number 1, 27-25, so that one went a little extra long. Now into serve is Michelle Hanley. She'll try to start things rolling for Williston State. Hanley jogging into the serve. She lets it loose. Little sinker gets across. Beasley with the set on the outside to Sand, and Sand's going to kill it and score right in front of Ashlyn Halford for the Mystic point. Coming back in is Lang. Going out is Sand. And now it is 20-10. The Mystics have doubled up the Tetons. They're looking to put it away. They just need 5 more points to take the second straight set. Here comes the serve from Lang. Bumped up by the Tetons. Walruff to Peterson. Over to Schlinger with a great dig. Outside, here comes the attack from Gibson from the back row. Walruff pops it over on one hit, and that's going to be a Teton point. Crafty play by the setter, Jalen Walruff, to get it over. Couple of Tetons will go off. Couple of Tetons will come in. Coming back in is Boggs and Oliver. Going out is Haskins and Pospisil. Back to serve number 5, Alyssa Oliver. Oliver has a little bit of a drop serve. She gets it enough on it just to go over the net, and then it falls off a table. There's Schlinger to receive it. Beasley on the outside, and it is going to be down off the hands of Riley Payne. Looks like back to serve once again is Anastasia Kempish. She just came on for the Mystics. So Kempish to serve. She go to back row to Hanley. Pushed over in one touch by Schultz. And that's going to be a kill on the outside by the Mystics to get another point, 22-11. Tetons want to talk about things some more. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College. Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees. Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit willistonstate.edu/scholarships.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Volleyball. Here comes the Mystic serve. Going to be taken by Halford over to Walruff. Sent over by the Tetons and Boggs. Received by the Mystics. Sent back over. Here comes the middle push attack by Peterson. Kept alive. Beasley outside attack from Payne. And that is going to be off some hands and out of bounds. And now the Mystics just 2 points away from taking home set number 2. Anastasia Kempish back again to serve. She is a freshman from Dickinson. She lets one fly. There's Hanley to get it. Back bump, and Peterson knuckles it over. Beasley now the set onto the outside. A kill kept alive by Oliver. Walruff to Boggs. Boggs cross court, and that is going to be kept by the Mystics. Schlinger up, push over by Kempich. Walruff up onto the back serve to Peterson, who hits it into the net, and that is set point now for the Mystics, 24-11. The Tetons couldn't really find a groove here in this one after that nail-biter of set number 1. Kempich with the serve into the net. Service error by the Mystics. That's their first of the set, third of the game. Tetons, thankfully, knock on wood, have not had any yet, as back to serve is going to be Peterson. She'll walk into the serve, let one fly. They're misplayed by the Mystics, looking for a double hit there, but didn't get the call, and it's going to be killed into the Teton side. They block it, but out of bounds, and that's going to be the end of set number 2. So the Mystics took this one 25-12. We'll have a break in between the second and third set. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout and be back from the well in Williston for more Teton volleyball right here on 660 Keys News Radio.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com. From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squid it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for the news.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. Halftime activities happening at the well as they have t-shirts laid out for the students to hit some of the volleyballs across the net, and if they do hit them, they win the shirt. So a great opportunity to win a free piece of swag and get the student body involved. And they are showing up in force tonight for this Mondac Conference matchup between the Tetons and the Mystics of Bismarck State. Bismarck State has only lost 2 games on the year, and they have 1 conference loss, that one coming to Wahpeton here earlier this month. Tetons are now 2-4 in conference. They started off 0-4 overall, had a rough sledding with their big road trip. But now talking to Coach here before the game and earlier in the year, they said they've learned a lot and grew as a team. And Tetons, for set number 1, really hung with the Mystics, giving them all they could handle in set number 1 and have the Mystics to set point at one point when it was 25-23. But the Mystics battled back and won 27-25. Tetons and Mystics just heading back out onto the court. They're going to talk about some things before they get going. We'll talk about some things as well. We'll take another 2-minute timeout and be back from the well in Williston.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule.
No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial.
Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons are in an 0-2 hole to the Bismarck Mystics, and they'll have to do everything they can to battle back, come down, and try to win in 5. Mystics starting off with the serve. Here comes Beasley on the serve. Over to Oliver. Walrup to Boggs. Boggs going to send it right at Beasley, and it'll go out of bounds. Tetons start out strong, getting the first point. Here comes the first subs. In is going Pospisil and Haskins. And out is going Boggs and Oliver. Back to serve, Maya Pospisil, the freshman from Billings. She's been standout server for the Tetons the last couple of games, especially against Dickinson. Here comes another rocket. That gets taken in the back row by Lang. Free ball coming over. Pospisil gets it up. Walrup on the outside to Haskins. Little touch. That's kept alive by Payne. Up, here comes an attack from Payne, just long out of the back, and that is a 2-point Teton lead. Looks like Coach Hink has them fired up and firing on all cylinders here to start this third. Pospisil gets a word from her coaches on the side and readies herself for the service. Here she comes, another rocket to the back row to Lang once again. And it's going to be Beasley set over to Gibson for the attack. Tetons send it back on their outside attack for Payne, and that is going to be a soft little pushover by Payne to get it down there for the Mystics' first point of the game. The back to serve will be Riley Payne for Bismarck. She walks in the flat-footed serve, just gets over the net. Pospisil with the dig. Walrup tries to get it up to Jones, but there's a missed time on the jump, and that falls cleanly to the ground on the Teton side, bringing the score even at 2 apiece. Riley Payne back to serve. Another flat-footed serve, just gets over the top of the net. Outside to Haskins, goes for the kill, kept alive for the Mystics. There's going to be a point called infraction, and there was some wiggling on the net as the Mystics were into it, and it looks like that was on Beasley at the net, giving the point and the lead back to Williston State. Ashlyn Halford back on the serve. Alford walks into it. Here she lets one fly right down the line, and that is in for an ace. No, on the line, and it's going to be down there in for an ace. It should be, and they're going to replay the point. What an absolute laser hit by Ashlyn Halford that kissed the line, but is going to be called a redo. So now they're holding up here between the two, and Halford will have to reserve. Tetons have the lead, 3-2. She'll ready herself and get ready to go for the next serve. Here it comes. Another long, hard one. Schlinger sets it. Beasley to the outside. Big kill. Pospisil pops it up. Walruff with the back bump. Now free ball going to be come over for Halford. Set up. Beasley. Middle kill is going to be kept alive by Halford. There's Haskins. Keeps it alive. Tetons are going to have to send it over free one more time. Beasley with the set, and that will be taken in there for the attack and the point for Bismarck, tying things back up at 3 apiece. Back to serve for Bismarck State, number 7, Eden Schlinger, the libero for the Mystics. Run into the jump serve. Pospisil over to Walruff, outside to Haskins, who kills it down the line, just a couple inches long. And that's another point for the Mystics, who take a 4-3 lead here on the American State Bank scoreboard. Schlinger takes some dribbles and runs into it, sends it across. That one is wide, and that's going to be a point for the Tetons, tying things back up at 4. Hanley coming in, she'll check in for Schultz, and directly back to the service line. So Hanley trying to retake the lead for the Tetons. Takes her dribbles, she'll get a big running start right down the middle of the lane. Sends one up across. That one's just going to be barely kept up by Schlinger. Outside is going to come to the attack, and that one is just long from Rust. And lucky for the Tetons, there was some outstretched arms that just couldn't quite get to the heater that was sent through by Jenna Rust. Hanley back to serve one more time. Tetons up 5-4. Here comes a long serve. Schlinger up to Beasley. Middle attack is going to be kept alive from Hanley. Tipped over by Peterson. Now over to Haskins, and she's going to hit one outside of the pole. And that will be a point for the Mystics, all knotted up at 5 once again. Tetons trying to keep alive and see if they can't steal the first of what they need to be 3 sets. Here's going to be a bump up. Haskins from the outside attack. Beasley to the outside now for the Mystics. Set down hard from Rust. And that's a point lead for the Mystics, 6-5 here in set number 3. Back to serve for Bismarck once again, Greta Gibson. Gibson with a flat-footed serve. Pop it over to Halford, back row. Walruff to Peterson. Peterson is able to get it down on the kill. Tetons tie it back up, 6-6. Boggs and Oliver checking back in for Haskins and Pospisil. Number 5, Alyssa Oliver will head back to serve. She'll wait for instructions and now let it loose. Going to be taken by Schlinger. Beasley to the outside, killed off the hands of Oliver. On the attack was Brina Sand, who got it down there for the point. Sand will come out, in will come Cheyenne Long for the Mystics. Long has had a very, very prosperous time, or Lang has had a very, very prosperous time in service. Here she comes again. It'll be right to Oliver. Now Walruff on the set, behind her to Peterson, dug up by Gibson. Beasley over for the kill, kept alive by the Tetons. Boggs sends it over. There's Gibson once again. Beasley onto the outside. Here's Payne into the net, and they say she didn't quite get it over. So a 4-hit on the Mystics will tie things back up at 7 apiece. Greta Peterson back to serve for Williston. Montasia Jones coming into the middle for Ashlyn Halford. Peterson sends it across. There's Schlinger. Beasley to the outside to Payne, and that is going to be rejected at the net by Montasia Jones. So the Tetons hold a 1-point lead. And some of the body language, they need to get a little more excitement there on the court. Here comes Peterson, low serve, and that one just doesn't get over. That's the first service error on Williston State here in the day. So coming out is going to be Jenna Rust for the Mystics. Back to serve is her sub, Anastasia Kempnish. Kempnish with the serve. There's Hanley, gets it up, outside to Boggs with the kill, and she's going to get it down off the hands of a couple of blockers for a Teton point. So Kempnish comes out after one volley. Schlinger goes in for her. Back to serve for the Tetons is Walruff. Hanley comes out of the game. Halford in for her. Here's the serve by Walruff. Schlinger has to dive to keep it alive. Back row attack. Halford Now over to Walruff for the set. Boggs for the kill. That's going to be off the hands of Lang. Kept alive, but not for long by Schlinger. Another Teton point. They lead by 2, 10-8. Teton's biggest lead of the game was 4 points. That came in set number 3 points. That came in set number 1. Walruff back to serve once again. Here she sends it across, taken by Lang. And that's going to be put right back over. I think that was Payne in the middle. No, it was Beasley in the middle who pushed it right past the hands of Teton defenders. So now back to a 1-point game, 10-9. Beasley back to serve. Here's her flat-footed serve, gets over to Oliver. Walruff on the outside to Boggs. It's going to be blocked at the net. So good middle defense there by the Mystics here so far. That's the 3rd block at the middle for the Mystics so far in this set number 3. Beasley sends another serve up, all tied up at 10. Oliver shanks it off her hands, and that is going to be an ace for the Mystics, 11-10. Just the second ace of the game for Bismarck State. Beasley again to serve. She'll walk into it and let it fly. Over to Oliver, pops it up. There's Halford. Over to Schultz. Schlinger now to Beasley. On the middle is going to be popped over. Halford there to dig it. Walruff over to Schultz. It's going to be blocked at the net, but out of bounds. On the block was Payne, but she just couldn't control it. That'll tie things up back at 11. A couple of subs coming back in for the Tetons. Back in is Haskins and Pospisil. So Pospisil back to serve. He'll jump into it and send a rocket across, taken by Lang. Pumped up in the middle by Beasley, a kill by Rust, and there's going to be a point called at the net. Tetons got called for a double hit, and that will give the lead back to Bismarck, 12-11. Bismarck trying to stay alive in this 3rd set. They trail 2-0. Here comes the serve to Pospisil. There's over to Haskins, and that's going to be kept alive by the Mystics and Payne. Free ball coming over. Halford set up by Walruff, blocked on the attack from Schultz, and there's going to be a misplay at the net by Jones. She didn't want to get called for in the net, 2-0, and the ball snuck down in between her and the net to give Bismarck a 13-11 lead. Another serve coming for Bismarck. Riley Payne on the serve. Walruff outside to Haskins. She's blocked at the net. Walruff with the save. Here again comes Haskins. She pops it over. Schlinger now over to Sam. And Sam's going to be blocked at the net by Jones with authority. And that'll bring the Tetons back to within 1, 13-12. Coming out of the game is Jones. Coming back in is Peterson. Ashlyn Halford back to serve, trying to even things up at 13. She'll take her dribbles and walk into this one. Good to go. That's going to be a long serve and the line judge changes her call. She initially called it in and then changed her call to out. So that will make it 14-12. Schlinger back to serve for the Mystics. She'll run into it, send it over. There's Pospisil. She gets it over in 1. Kept sent right back by the Mystics. Walruff over to Schultz. She's blocked. Halford with the save. Back to Halford. She'll send the free ball. Oliver, soft one. There's Schlinger there. Beasley to the middle. That's going to be saved by Walruff. Then saved by Schultz. Pospisil sends it over. It's going to creep over the net. Beasley again on the set. That's going to be blocked at the net, but creep over to the Tetons. Walruff outside to Schultz. To Haskins. Haskins gets it down. And what a play by the Tetons. A couple of fantastic saves to keep the point alive. Tetons back to within 1, 14-13. Michelle Hanley try to tie things up once again for Williston State. Halfway through set number 3. Here comes a serve from Hanley. Going to be received by Payne to Beasley. It's going to be flipped over just barely. He's kept alive by Peterson. Now the push by Halford. Here comes the Mystics. On the outside is Payne. Blocked at the net on the big kill from Miranda Reese. And that'll be another Teton point. We're all knotted up at 14. Tetons trying to extend this to at least 4 sets, hoping to go to 5 to see if they can't steal a win. Hanley readies herself, runs into the serve, sends it off to the back row, taken by Payne. There's Beasley, outside attack, saved by the Tetons, blocked at the net. Here comes Halford, over to Haskins again. She sends it right over to Schlinger. Beasley to the outside once again, and that's going to be sent wide off the hands of Sand for another Teton point. They have a 15-14 lead. So now there's going to be a timeout called by the Mystics. They want to talk about things. We'll talk about some things as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Invest in yourself at Williston State College. Scholarship opportunities are available to local and regional students. Eligible students can receive up to $12,000 in tuition and fees. Make an investment in your education and future with 13 CTE and 15 associate programs, including business management, cybersecurity, agriculture, massage therapy, nursing, petroleum automation, IT, welding, and diesel technology.
Let them help you with that investment in your life. Call 701-774-4200 or visit willistonstate.edu/scholarships.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop ryanhonda.net.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton Volleyball. Hanley on the serve. Here comes the attack from the Mystics, and they get it down. Rena Sand with the kill to tie things back up at 15 apiece. Back to serve for the Mystics is going to be Greta Gibson. Here comes her short serve, going to get right down there, saved by Hanley. And it was popped over by Peterson. She couldn't get enough on it to get it over the net. Mystics take a 1-point lead, 16-15. These two teams are battling here in this third set. Close down the wire. Another serve coming for the Mystics. Outside to Peterson with the attack. Blocked at the net, kept alive. There's Walruff. It's going to be sent into the net, and the Mystics can't get it over. It called for the 4 hits. That's going to give Tetons a 1-point lead. 17-6, tied up at 16-16. So Oliver and Boggs come in for Haskins and Pospisil. Oliver back to serve. Trying to retake the lead for Wilson. A little sinker serve going to get over. Push going to come from Beasley. Walruff onto the outside. Here's Boggs with the kill, and that sneaks down in between some blockers for a Teton point. Up 17-16. Tetons need 8 more to come home with the win in set number 3 and stay alive here in this Mondac Conference matchup. Next serve from Oliver, low line drive. Schlinger gets it there. Beasley saves it from going into the net. Little push. Boggs gets it up. Walruff with the attack. Kicked up by Gibson. Outside, little push coming, and no one can quite get to it. Both Halford and Boggs diving in to try to get to it off the hand of Gibson. So a very smart play by her to get the point and tie things back up 17 apiece. Back to serve, Cheyenne Lang, dangerous service artist for the Mystics. Low line drive right to Oliver. Walruff on the back serve to Peterson. Schlinger right there. Beasley going to set it up. Here comes the outside to Payne. Walruff on the outside to Boggs once again, and she'll send it. They're going to call for a touch, and they do get the touch call after the petition, and they wanted to make sure that it was known that there was a finger touch on it before it sailed long. So instead of another serve by Lang, it sends back to Greta Peterson and the Tetons. They lead 18-17 on the American State Bank scoreboard. There was a whistle there as one of the balls got inadvertently rolled onto the court. Here we go. Here's a serve from Peterson. Over to Schlinger. Now Beasley back set. It's going to be sent wide. Another point for Williston State. 19-17, matching their largest lead of the set. One more point, and they'll match their largest lead on the day. Next serve by Peterson. Low serve. Schlinger takes it off her elbows. Gets it on the outside to Payne, and that is going to be off the hands of Jones and Walruff and in for a Mystic point. Peterson going out. Coming back in for her is going to be Halford. And back to serve is Kempnish for the Mystics. Here comes the serve. Over to Oliver. Little miscommunication there. They get the outside attack from Boggs. Flat-footed killer attack from Boggs. Here's going to go outside from Payne. Kept alive by Halford. Walrup with a push shot over. Saved by Payne. Beasley into the middle. Big-time attack. Saved by Halford. Here's going to come. There's Walrup off some fingertips, and that's going to be off the hands of Gibson and a Teton point. Tetons not going away quietly here tonight. Schultz coming in. Hanley going out, and to serve will be Jalen Walrup, the freshman from Blue Springs, Missouri. 20-18. Tetons 5 points away from closing out set number 3 and avoiding the sweep. Here comes Walrup, taken by Lang. Biddle to Beasley, now to Payne, blocked, and Halford can't keep it alive as it went off the middle blocker's hands, and she had to scramble to try to kick it up. Still a 1-point Teton lead, 20-19. Gibson coming out for the Mystics. Back to serve is going to be Beasley. She'll send it over. Oliver now to Walrup. Outside to Schultz. Has to push it over two-handed. Set was offline. Here comes a middle kill by Paige McAllister, the 6-footer from Fargo, and she gets the point, tying things back up at 20. Crucial stand here for the Tetons. They need to get a stop and get the ball away from Beasley and the Mystics. Beasley let it fly into the net. Service error for the Mystics. That's been really their only blemish here today. That's their 4th service error of the game. They have at least 1 in each set. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and now 1 in the third. Boggs and Oliver going out. Haskins and Pospisil coming in. Maya back to serve. Here she comes. Here comes a rocket. That's going to be just off the back, a little too much into it from Pospisil. And that will tie things back up at 21. Out of the game is going Lang for the Mystics. Back in is going to be number 13, Jenna Rust. Payne to serve. Flat-footed serve is going to go over to Halford. Now Walrup to Jones. Jones going to get it into Payne. Careful not to get a carry there. She was so close, and she tries to push it over, and into the net it goes. So 22-21, Williston State. Ashlyn Halford back to serve once again. She'll dribble it, ready herself. Tetons need 3 more points to take home this set number 3. She'll run into it, let her fly, and that'll just get overtaken by Sand. Saved by Beasley. Attack come from the back row, coming to Pospisil with the dig. Outside Haskins, she's going to be blocked at the net. Halford tried to keep it alive, couldn't get enough onto it, and that's going to be a Mystic point. Keep things tied up at 22. These two teams are battling here in this third set. Tetons giving this Bismarck State team everything they can handle. Here comes a serve from Schlinger. Walrup, and that's going to be a missed timing from Walrup and Peterson, and a point for the Mystics. They take a 1-point lead. Timeout on the court. Here as Tetons have to rally back. They are down 23-22 in set number 2. They trail 2-0. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back for the conclusion of Teton Volleyball here from the Well in Williston.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike Kruger back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. 23-22. Mystics lead and have the serve. Here comes a serve from Schlinger. Sends it off to Pospisil. Walrup with the back set to Schultz. That's going to be sailed long for another point. And it is now set and match point for the Mystics. Schlinger back to serve, trying to send her team home happy. Here comes a serve. It's a hard one. Pospisil. Bumped by Walrup. Up to Haskins. She sends it over, kept alive by Sands. Inside kill, and that's going to be kept alive by the Tetons. Free ball coming over from Halford. Here's the bump up now. Beasley. Outside kill by Sands, kept alive by Halford. Walrup Outside to Haskins with the attack. Schlinger there to save. Beasley again. Here comes a little touch. Haskins with the bump. Wallruff with the push to the outside. Payne sitting there. Beasley once again. Here comes the attack from Sands, and that is going to get down for the point and the win. Tetons are swept at home by the Bismarck Mystics. Bismarck Mystics still have just 2 losses on the year. Tetons now 4-15 on the season. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back for the First International Bank and Trust post-game show here from the Well in Williston.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike, we're back here at the Well in Williston. It's the First International Bank and Trust post-game show right here on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons dropped a tough one. They had a couple of good sets, the first and the third, where they hung right in there with Bismarck State. And Bismarck State just squeaking by to advance with the win. Taking a look at Bismarck State for the year, they advanced to 21-2 overall on the season. 7-1 in the Bondac, now winners of their past 9 games. So a big-time win for Bismarck as the Tetons gave them all they could handle here at the Well in Williston. As for the Tetons and losing this Mondac Conference game here at home, that drops them to 4-15 overall, 2-5 in the Mondac. They are still winners of 3 of their last 6 outings. They will be at home next time they play as well, so some more home cooking for the Tetons as they will be at home versus Lake Region State here in Williston. That'll be on Tuesday, October 4th, and then 24 hours later, they'll be at home again against the number 1 team in the Mondac, the NDSCS Wildcats. Another tough test for them. So toughest part of the schedule here the next 7 days for Williston State, so we'll have to see how they can go. There'll be lots of learning experiences for them. So Tetons drop a tough one today against Bismarck State in straight sets, 3-0. That first one took a little bit extra by the final of 27-25 Bismarck. The wheels fell off for the Tetons in the second. They couldn't quite keep the momentum going after the emotionally exhaustive loss in the first set. And the third one again went right down to the wire, 25-22. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the player of the game. This is the First International Bank and Trust post-game show here from the Well in Williston.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Mike, we're back here for Teton Volleyball on 660 Keys News Radio. We are post-game from the Tetons' loss to the Bismarck State College Mystics. And it was a tough one for the Tetons. They lost in straight sets, but they battled hard, and they'll definitely give everything they have to the Mystics next time they see him, whether it be later this year or will be in the postseason should they see him again this year. Now it's time to announce the Williston Auto Player of the Game. And that goes to number 3, Amaris Boggs. And what a bounce-back game she had compared to Monday. Boggs, who didn't really have the feeling on Monday, came back with a vengeance. And her defense, as well as her kills from the outside, really helped boon the Tetons in the first and third sets to keep them right in there. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Teton Athletics and the First International Bank and Trust postgame show right here on 660 Keys News Radio. I'd like to thank Emma for all of her hard work behind the scenes, keeping us on the air and sounding good. Until next time, sports fans, I'm Mike Reuter.